Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I just got through doing a version of the long form that we do with 2-pound hand weights in my hands. They kind of strap on the back of my hands, and I've been working a lot on strength training lately, doing more calisthenics and doing some kettlebell work and some other weighted object play. And I've been thinking a lot about strength lately because the strength that I've been gaining has been really, really interesting to me. I just wanted to feel sturdier and stronger and less prone to injury, particularly back injury and shoulder injuries. And that's happened. I mean, as I've gotten stronger, I've been feeling sturdier and less prone to injury in those areas. But what I've noticed too is that there's been a corresponding opening of more softer, more yin qualities in my movements and in my life. And I found that really interesting because I expected actually the opposite to happen. But the strength has actually improved everything, including the yin qualities of my movement. Part of that is because I really was determined as I started to, maintain as much softness as I could while I developed the strength. There's a few things I want to talk about regarding strength. One of the things you hear a lot in Tai Chi is don't use strength, don't use Li or hard muscle strength, use Qi. And there's certainly a lot of people in the woo-woo mystical areas of Tai Chi who think that you can just make some sort of decision in your mind and your energy and send people flying and not use strength. I haven't seen much of that. I've met some really accomplished masters in my life, and every one of them was strong as hell. Super strong legs. They weren't necessarily cut or built up above, but they were definitely strong and could punch you into next week should they want to. So first of all, regarding strength versus Qi, the way I interpret that is use integrative, whole body, connected strength, where you're working on the little muscles inside and creating ripples of power that expand and increase as they go through the body, as opposed to using local brute strength muscle where you're just trying to muscle the other guy or the opponent into a position, or just trying to muscle your way into a movement. When we talk about strength in a negative way, it's using too much force. It's using too much local strength without connecting or integrating to the whole body, and it's kind of a tightening. Whereas integrative strength, or what you might call Qi, means your intent flows through your body, through your nervous system, which is an electrical energetic network that connects through your muscles and bones, and then that sense of whole-bodied awareness is what moves your muscles and bones, what leads them into action. So even just a little movement like this is just local strength. I can make it as soft and pretty as I want. But if I let my whole body move that hand, now it's becoming a Tai Chi movement. My intent to move my hand is connecting first to my whole body and then out to my hand. So I think of it as using a different kind of strength, a coordinated, efficient, integrative strength, rather than a local, primary, tense, hard, linear, local strength. Also, I think it's really valuable to have strength that you don't use. If I'm X amount of strong and I need this amount to get the job done, it's only 20% of my total strength. So I can do that with a certain ease. That same job, if all my strength, if the strength I possess is here, then that same job is half my strength. Or if my strength is here, it's all my strength. And so I end up straining, and I'm closer to the injury range, and I'm closer to tightening up and using that, again, that kind of brute strength or tight, hard strength rather than soft, integrated strength. So it's nice to have strength that you don't use. The classics don't really say don't have strength. They say don't use strength. Don't use brute force to overcome your difficulties. So I really like that idea. Now consider this. Singers, really good opera singer, can sing a powerful, loud, strong, sustained note right in front of a candle. And the candle will quiver, but it won't blow out, because they're not blowing all their air out. They're holding most of it in their lungs and just releasing a small amount into the tone not unlike a CO2, yacht horn, one of those canned yacht horn. When you press that, it's not a huge amount of air going out. It's just very compressed through the part that makes the sound. Whereas a typical pop singer, and the candle's out, because there's so much air going out with the note. So the opera singer who's singing the powerful note and just making the candle quiver, are they using that air? Are they using the air that they're not breathing out? Just like a Tai Chi person who does a really efficient push that looks very small, just a small percentage of the strength, are they using the other strength? It's not that you're using it, but it definitely supports the movement, just like the air in the lungs supports that note, even though you're not technically using it to make the note. So I think it's really important to have strength, and I think it's also important to coordinate that strength and make it more integrative and less tense and tight and local. Also, the strength that you don't use supports the strength that you do use. It can hold your posture, it can hold your structure, it's at the ready, and you don't have to use a huge percentage of your strength to get the job done. Another factor, and the last thing I want to mention regarding strength, is I would encourage you, if you do strength training in your martial arts work or in your Tai Chi, to also make sure that you do lots of integrated whole body, complete body movements in addition to just the strengthening exercises which kind of isolate the muscles. In other words, if I do a bunch of push-ups, let's say I do a set of 20 push-ups, I'll get up and I'll just do this. I'll shift my weight and I'll turn my waist. I hope you can see that in the camera. I'll just do this, and notice I'm not twisting my knees. My legs are doing the powering, my waist is doing the directing, my hands are doing the expressing, and I'll do like 10 or 20 of these, like that, and then I'll stand even and I'll do 10 or 20 drops like this. Just dropping my weight down. So I'm getting the up-down piston action and I'm getting the side-to-side swinging action. And both of those are whole-bodied movements that are, a sequence of strength from the legs, relaxed waist, and expressed out through the hands. So I'll make sure I do plenty of that softening, integrating work, as well as the strength, as well as the lift the kettlebell or swing a sledgehammer head around or do some curls or whatever other things I'm doing. I make sure I pepper that or mix it with plenty of whole-bodied integrative work to keep that connection going. Also, every part of the body, every part of our, let's talk muscles, every muscle area of our body, every area of the body has a yin function as well as a yang function. For instance, the belly. It has a yang function, the core muscles that you firm when you push something or when you receive force or when you land a punch. At that moment that you land, you've got to be strong in the core. Core strength is super important, great to have. Love to do planks and sit-ups and crunches and stuff like that for the abdomen. But the belly is also an instrument of feeling. We talk about having gut feelings, and when you're scared, you can feel it in your belly. It's also an area of warmth and connection, like when you're holding a baby or you're holding your partner. There's a softness and a kind of receptive quality that's also in this area. If you work so hard and so tight and so strong in the belly that you lose that, I feel like you're missing something in the Tai Chi equation. You're more hard than soft. Your arms obviously have all this aggressive and functional kind of active yang function, but there also can be really soft and listening, like when you hold a lever, you hold your baby, or so I also work on making sure that my skin stays receptive and open and listening. When you suspend your joints a little bit and don't hold them tight or limp, when you suspend the joints a little bit, you can listen with your arms, because your arms have to listen as well. Same with your back. You get a funny feeling behind you. Like your back can be very sensitive to sound. It can be sensitive to just vibration and feeling back there, almost like the spidey sense, Spider-Man has. You don't want your back to be too hard and tight and rigid so that you can't listen with it. And same with all parts of the body. We have motor nerves, which are yang, that send the body into action, and we have yin, sensory nerves, which bring receptive information into our brain and into our body so that we can know something about the world around us. So if you pay attention to that, you can notice, you know, as you gain strength, am I losing receptivity in that area? Am I becoming too tight there? If so, relax. My teacher, Andy Dale in Seattle, used to have us just do this to get our forearms used to making contact. And that can go up to the arm. You know, you can just do a light massage. It's not so much to massage the muscles, but to kind of wake up the skin so that this is listening. When there's pressure on that, you can listen, you can yield, you can move. You can always tense up, but we want to balance the yin receptive qualities with all that yang, hard, active qualities. So again, I think strength is really, really good to have. I don't think it's great to use in a brute, forceful, linear, tight, local, overpower things way, unless it's an emergency. I like integrative, softer, more connected, coordinated kind of strength, which you might call qi. Also, the strength that you don't use, the strength that you have but that you don't use, can be very, very powerful and supportive of the strength that you do use. And my last point is to encourage you to balance your strength and yang training with soft receptive training, because all these parts of the body have a soft receptive yin quality. We want to be able to act, but we want to be able to listen. We want to be able to sense as well as strike. So if any part of that equation is missing, I feel like something's missing. When I see Tai Chi people who are weak, I feel like something's missing. When I see Tai Chi people who aren't soft, who are very rigid in their form, you know, it's still good for you. It's better than watching TV. But I feel personally like something's missing, because I'm looking for that yin-yang balance and equation, hardness and softness in equal amounts. So I hope that's helpful. That's why I make these videos. I don't make a lot of money from this channel, but I do like to share my ideas and hopefully be of use to you out there. I also record a lot of music videos, and I put these up on my channel. If you go to my site, Burnett.com, I've got a Tai Chi book called Tai Chi for Geniuses. I've got a songwriting book called Songwriting for Geniuses, and I've even got a poetry book up there and some other stuff. So if you're curious about other stuff that I do, Burnett.com is the place to find out about it. And subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of thing, and thanks for watching.